we don't want to look like a team that can't keep a coach. Like, I agree with you. That don't look good. Like, that don't look good. So I'm still trying to hold on to a little hope, but I'm scared. I'm like, if he really lost the locker room, he got to get the up out of town. At this point, it's given Nick Sirianni gonna get fired because the way everybody on his head, and we can't deny the fact that the locker room is gone. It's gone.
I don't think so.
Someone made a good point. They used to post videos last year after wins, them all turning up in the locker room. Locker room used to look crunk after a win. This year, none of them vibes was there. None of them vibes.
I didn't see one intro of them dancing.
I told you, Cool Cat, what I thought it was last night, bro. You too focused on what you need to do instead of just focused on relaxing and playing football. It's tense. Like everybody beating themselves up for the Super Bowl loss. Bradberry beat himself up so much he lost 10 steps. He can't get it back, but I low-key want Brian Johnson back, but I want him to have more control of the offense. But I don't think that'll happen, so I think he's gonna have to fight him.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I've never seen no winning team look so frustrated for all season long. Like you said, the vibe's been tense, and it could be because they lost the Super Bowl, but I don't know if I'm buying that. Them dudes do not care. They be losing the game and be right there smirking with their friend, taking Instagram pics, swapping jerseys, cheesing right after the game. So I don't think that they still upset about something that happened in February. When at the end of the game, oh, Debo, my dog, that's my best friend. AJ was on them podcasts 2 weeks after the Super Bowl on the podcast, kiki, laughing, talking. They on their podcast, they having a good gosh darn time. Except when they at Lincoln Financial Field playing. And these are professionals. They've lost games before. They've lost plenty of games.
How many lost championship games, though?
They've lost games to the point where they didn't even make it to championships.
I think I'd rather deal with not making it to getting there and losing.
I just don't
not knowing
think
if you
that
get
they're
back.
all upset because, oh, we lost a game darn near a year ago. When, like I said, after losses, they all be kiki-kiki-ing, taking pictures of each other's babies, swapping jerseys. That's my dog. That's my homie. Oh, I finally got to see my dog. We played together in high school. And they don't be worried about that loss. So I don't think that they sitting here still upset and playing terrible because they still upset about something that happened February 2023. I think they don't respect, whether it's they don't respect the defensive coordinator, they don't respect I don't think they respect who's in charge. Like, that's the only way. Everybody vibe is bad. Everybody.
I don't know. I just got like a, I don't know. The Super Bowl hangover is real. So if it wasn't real, it wouldn't be so many teams that didn't make it back. Like, so that got to play a part of losing that game. Got to be something with your mental, with your morale, with your whatever you got going on. It affects something because it ain't been many teams that make it back. It's only been like 6 in the whole 60, 70, 80 years they've been doing the Super Bowl. Only 6 teams that lost made it back.
Yeah, because
and two of the teams are the same team.
Because it's hard as hell to get to the Super Bowl. But I don't think
but those teams, but a lot of those, like, I want to say like 70% of the teams don't even make the playoffs the next year.
I'm not denying the fact that I never thought we was going to get back to the Super Bowl regardless, because we lost hella players. We lost our defensive coordinator. We lost our offensive coordinator. I've never seen a group of grown men. I have been watching football all my life. I've never seen such uninspired professional play. I've never seen such uninspired football. They don't seem like they care. And usually that comes down to the culture. Like, I've seen this team, even when Nick came in and we started, 2-5? They was playing hard as heck that year. And that's why we ended up making the playoffs. Playing hard, playing above themselves. Like, look at teams like the Texans. That's believing in the culture. That's buying into each other. That's camaraderie. That's teammates. They don't even look like they rock with each other. Like, it's some type of cultural discourse. And usually that start up top. Like, even in non-sports, when it's a company and the culture is bad in the company, it's usually culture trickles down. Like, that's something that's starting up top. That's why I'm like, if Nick go, would I be super mad? I want him to stay, but at the end of the day, if you can't get your guys to look like they want to be here, win or lose, they don't look like they want to be out there playing together.
So if that's the case and Nick Sirianni does get fired, who's the head coach?
Child.
See my point? We said
and
the same.
Especially since we have such talented dudes, like, we have so much talent that I feel like when you hella talented and you know your worth and you're getting misused, that's going to frustrate you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's easy to fire up bums because they ain't hitting on sheet. They're driven by motivation and external motivation. Like, it's easy to fire up a sorry team. When you got dogs that know how they're supposed to be utilized, that know what good football look like, how are you gonna? They're not gonna gain the coaches aren't gonna gain the respect when they're mismanaging such talented players.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the culture is sour puss. I'm saying, like, the culture is just, and dating back all season long, it's been bouts. People fussing on the sidelines. Like, we've seen it. So much disgust on the sidelines. Like, so many players just looking the Avonte Smith shot. Obviously, AJ fussing out Jalen, and the game we won against the Giants when they were fussing out Nick on the sideline, rolling their eyes at Nick. The game against the Rams where Jason Kelce was fussing at Nick. Like, we all thought these was one-offs. And it got glossed over because we were winning.
But that seems to me, Mon, that seems like they got the respect for Nick. They're probably complaining about the two people that we want fired the most. Brian Johnson and Sean Desai. They probably like, Nick, you want us to play for these dudes? Look what we doing. Like, get them out of here. Nick, like, man, I can't do that right now. All right, well, we'll show you what we can do then.
That's
we tired of them. They're not putting us in best positions. They're not executing. They're not calling them to get stops. But then, hey, we ain't got no respect for them dudes. We're gonna talk to you, and either you get them out of here or you can get us out of here, however you want to do it.
But that's Nick's job. Like, Nick's job is to command the locker room. That's Nick's job. Nick's job is to keep a handle on the locker room. That's not Brian's job. That's not Desai or Matricia's job. Their job is to run the offense and run the defense. Nick, the head coach, the head honcho, you supposed to be keeping his GE together. And the fact that it's not together, like, we already know Desai and Patricia and Brian Johnson. And who's holding Brian Johnson back? Nick. Who goes in the press conference every week and says, I'm not changing nothing after getting torched?
He just said in his press conference, I didn't hear it because I'm done listening to Nick Sirianni.
Right, I didn't even listen to that thing.
I heard someone ask them in the playoffs, are you going to change play calling?
No. Every week, lose, get embarrassed. Are you going to change anything? No, we're going to be trusting what we have. That's what the players are seeing and hearing. That bullshit. Even if you're not planning to change it, you got embarrassed. I'm going to come in there and say, we're going to do and work on change what we need to change. Even if I'm not changing it, just at least say it, pretend like it. Like,
I'm mad at Nick, but I ain't fire mad at Nick. It's a few people I won't fire before him.
Start us off. Who you want?
I told you who first. It gotta be the whole defense, bro. I'm telling you, linebacker coach, cornerback coach, D lineman coach, all them coaches on the defensive side, they first. I want to wipe that clean and start over. And then we can start working on the offensive side because the wide receiver coach, the quarterback coach, the running back coach, tight end coach, just start peeling them off. We got to rebuild somewhere, and obviously pulling one bad apple ain't gonna refresh the bunch. So pull them all. And then Nick, you're gonna get some type of assistance and get some help to rehire some people, but we can't just keep bringing in guys that don't know what they're doing, bro. You got to bring in some veterans that's gonna have some stand with all in themselves. And they're not just gonna be like, oh, Sirianni said we need to run this defense, so that's what we're running. Nah, man, we in a struggle. We ain't stop nobody. We switching to cover 3. We ain't stop nobody in 4. We switching to cover 4. Like he want this shell 2 cover bull jump. It ain't stop nothing. And we let 2 teams that should probably got blowed out get wins. And that's just not okay. So all the coordinators, all the position coaches, because I want Brian Johnson, but at this point, he looks so bad. Keeping him, you can't justify it. Unless Sirianni come out and say he called plays, which he probably not going to do. So you got to fight everybody. And if Sirianni can't go out and find some competent coaches, or he don't want to, kind of look into some different guys other than the guys he worked with, then you can let him go too at this point. Yeah. It got to be a complete rebuild at this point. Cool cat. You don't melt down like this from one guy.
Complete rebuild mean complete. That include Nick. My only
but Nick can bring in new guys though. Nick can bring in the new guys though. Cause I don't think that's why I say I don't think he lost it. I think everybody around him has lost the respect of the guys.
My only concern is, will he? Because one thing this man has shown for what, 9 months? How long this season been? 6 months? 18 weeks. Yep. It's been 18 weeks, and this man has not changed. It's been 18 weeks of bullshit. We squeaked out of the wins, but it was no wins to be proud of. And the player said it each and every week. Jalen, we won, but the standard was not up. The game was not up to the standard. Our play wasn't up to the standard. We know we squeaked out of a lot of games. 99% of our wins, we squeaked out of. Okay? So Nick Sirianni knows what we've been doing all season long wasn't working, but he sat up there and let it continue week after week after week after week after week. So I don't know if I'm confident in Nick suddenly sparking a change. This is a grown man, 45 years old. This is a full-grown man. All I'm saying is he's shown us for 18 weeks what he's going to do and who he is. And he sat in our face each and every week, multiple times a week, and said in the press conference, no, I'm not changing anything. No, I'm not changing anything. We get embarrassed. No, I'm not changing anything. We're not changing anything. So I don't know if I'm confident in, Nick is all of a sudden going to bring in, let's say he can bring in the most experienced offensive coordinator. Who's to say he steps to the side and let him cook? He has a
I don't think you're going to have a choice at that point, though, because the money we're going to have to invest into paying him compared to what we paid Brian Johnson, you're going to have to let him call the offense. He ain't going to be cheap. That's what I'm saying. Like, people want these coordinators. They want all this stuff. But, like, you fire Nick. We don't know where this team go after we fire Nick. At least we can. The one thing we can say is we made the playoff every year that Nick was here. You bring in a new dude, culture change, who's in, who's out.
Now, who else was here, though? Shane Steichen, who had Gardner Minshew and an injured ad team all season long, about to make one game away from the playoffs. We had, 2 more wins than the Colts? 2 more wins than a rebuild team with Shane Steichen. We've seen what Nick looked like for the first time without Shane, and it's some bullshit. So was it Shane? Was it Nick? 2 things was in common when we made the playoffs. Shane. Now Shane gone, Shane balling, and we can suck. So was it Nick or was it Shane?
I don't know if Shane technically he did good with what he had. I'll give him that.
He
did have a quarterback that he had for 2 years, kind of familiar with the offense.
Gardner
Minshew didn't play like a bum now. Go look at the stats. Gardner Minshew put up stats.
A bona fide backup that was playing well in Shane's system. Like, we're not going to negate what
I think Shane brought him to Philly, though.
My point is, Shane has proven himself. Nick has not proven but he looked good standing next to Shane. Because once Shane left, Shane continued his same explosiveness, his same winning culture. Shane got them Colts in that bread loaf-ass stadium believing in themselves. Meanwhile, back in Philly, is some bullshit going on. So all I'm saying is, we have not seen what Nick can do. We were 2-5 until Shane took over the play caller. Then we went and made the playoffs. Then we were smoking and went to the Super Bowl. Now we can suck. It's given group project, and the head honcho didn't show up to school that day. Now we don't know what to present to the class because we really ain't do all that work.
Yep. At the end,
I ain't gonna argue with it. She said, "Hey man, fire Nick." Then I'm with it.
I didn't say. I'm just saying.
You said the man stank. You said he smelled like the spoiled shit in the back of the refrigerator. Get rid of him. At this point,
I'm saying, like, we have to.
I just don't want to go through a situation where we get rid of the head coach and then we in a situation where we 4 years not making the playoffs. We around here looking like the Browns and the Detroit Lions of the past, where they not making the playoffs because we fired the guy and then he go do some crazy amazing somewhere else, like it always happens for the Eagles. We clean the dude out, he goes somewhere else, and he wins Super Bowls, and then we look like, oh, why he couldn't win with us? Why he couldn't win with us? I'm just tired of being the unstable Eagles. Like it's really starting to it's starting to affect me mentally. Like, we can't keep a coach, we can't keep a quarterback, we can't keep coordinators, we can't keep nothing. Our team just look good one year, look shitty the next. One year we look good again, shitty the next. Like, when are we gonna be consistent as Eagles? Like, when is it gonna be stable?
And see, that's why I'm trying to hold on to hope with Nick Sirianni, because that's why I'm trying to hold on to a little bit of hope, because I don't want to be an unstable organization. But at the same time,
that's the word out about us, though.
It does. But again, it's like you in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? You got kids, but it's not working with your spouse. You got to look at, who do I want to prioritize in this situation? You always do what's best for the kids. At the end of the day, I'm concerned about keeping Jalen, AJ, and Avonte Smith happy. And if we go another season and possibly, even if it's a 10% chance that Nick is back on that bullshit and these contracts come up and they don't want to come back, or they want out because we didn't make no changes, I'm scared. Because I need AJ, I need Smitty, and I need Jalen Hurts in town. And I know for a fact we have a lot of talent under contract. And you cannot tell me that it's going to be hard to convince me that if we bring in somebody else, this talent will take us far. As we've seen this season, we suck, but still, every once in a while, a little bit of talent take over. We have enough talent to make the playoffs next season. Now, that's all I'm saying. So whether we go squeaking and we the 7th seed, 6th seed, 5th seed, what? We got freaking Jalen freaking Hurts. We got freaking AJ freaking Brown. We got freaking Avonte freaking Smith. Kenny Gainwell starting to act like he on some real G now. Like, that's just offensively. Those 4 dudes, enough. Hopefully Swift is coming back. You can't tell me that talent is staying out the playoffs.
I hope y'all know we're not getting none of the good coaches. We're going to get another guy like Nick Sirianni with no experience that's looking for a head coaching job, and he don't care where he go. Because anybody that's established, exactly what the people in the comments talk about is what I hear. The power struggle with Jeffrey Lurie and Howie. Nobody wants to work here because you got to be a yes man. Like, we going to have to take a risk. I mean, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. I can't argue with the masses. It's 1,000 more Eagle fans than me that say fire the man. So I mean, at the end of the day, what do I do? Shit.
That's why I'm worried. Like, that's what's keeping me holding on to Nick, is because we don't want to look like a team that can't keep a coach. Like, I agree with you. That don't look good. Like, that don't look good. So I'm still trying to hold on to a little hope, But I'm scared. I'm like, if he really lost the locker room, he got to get the up out of town.